Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to a professional match of StarCraft 2. I did this crazy thing this weekend, right? So, it's Monday over here in the Netherlands right now. I took both Saturday and Sunday off making content. It's nuts, dude. I took 2 entire days in a row off. I know. So that does mean that Saturday's video, that was a highlight video as well, right? I haven't casted a game of StarCraft in like 3 days. This is nuts. I'm really excited for today's best of 3 series. Although, in a way, it's a bit of a sad one, okay? So spawning here in the bottom right-hand corner of Romanticide and playing with the blue Terran SCVs from South Korea, we have an absolute Terran legend, and his name is INnovation. Now, INnovation recently announced that more than likely his final tournament in StarCraft 2 before his military service would be the World Team League. And that tournament just recently wrapped up. He also was cited in his most recent Team Liquid interview that after his military service, he does not intend to return to competitive StarCraft 2 because of his age. So, I mean, I don't want to like start off this week on a sad note, but apparently, Mr. INnovation, this may very well be one of my very last casts featuring this man. I mean, you never know. Sometimes players say they will not be coming back and then they return a little bit later, even though they originally didn't intend on coming back to the game after completing their service. Regardless, there's no denying, though, that this will likely be one of my last casts featuring this Terran player. And in a way, I mean, I haven't really casted him all too much recently. If you used to watch this channel maybe like 2 years ago or so, you may remember that I casted him very regularly, but recently it seems to me like he hasn't really been playing that much, or at the very least not been participating in that many tournaments. I also know that in the GSL, a couple of the other GSL players were teasing him that he only plays like 10 games a week. Now, I'm not entirely sure if 10 games a week is what the actual number is, but apparently INnovation, you know, it's sad because this man is like an absolute legend. He's one of the very best Terran players of all time. We'll see exactly how good he is currently, though, because it's been a little while since I've seen him play. Well, our Protoss player, I've been blabbering onwards for a long time. He's going for a proxy right here in the center of Romanticide, and that SCV, while it was scouting, did not see what was going on. The Protoss, playing with the red Protoss probes from Taiwan, he goes by the name of Nice. Now, I was thinking actually about it. I don't really know exactly if I've covered Nice before on this YouTube channel. So, Nice is one of the highest ranked players from Taiwan. He's always going head-to-head with Haas. Now, obviously, I've casted Haas many times, just because Haas plays a very explosive play style. But recently, for example, I mean, they've been going back and forth for years. Recently, for example, Nice ended up winning DreamHack Summer Asia. I mean, that does not include South Korea, because apparently South Korea, I don't know, it's its own continent or something. I'm not entirely sure. But he ended up winning DreamHack Summer Asia, taking out Haas in the grand finals, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, he's gonna go right here, just like Haas would like to, for a Stargate in the middle of the map, a pylon a little bit closer to the Terran's ramp, and I'm assuming a couple of Void Rays, indeed, so you can go for shield batteries and then get a little bit aggressive. At the same time, in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we now see INnovation. Okay, he wasn't actually just scouting with that SCV. Okay, he wasn't just scouting with that SCV, he was actually building a starport in the bottom left-hand corner. So, we've got ourselves a crazy game coming up. Proxy Void Ray, with shield batteries here on the side of the Terran, versus, I think, a couple of Hellions inside of a plane. Alright, medevac will be coming up, there it is. Void Ray now already heads on over towards the main base right here over a beautiful blue Terran player. Man, I'm actually really disappointed that, you know, this may be one of the final casts. I know this always can happen, right? But anyways, Hellions, they've already been ferried right there by that medevac into the natural expansion of the Protoss player. There's not a whole lot of units here ready for the defense. At the same time, a mistake can be said on the other side of the map. Void Ray is going to town. Battery overcharge is nice and all. It takes 3 of those Hellions, okay, to actually get a good kill right here on those probes. Looks like with 2 of the Hellions getting picked off, the defense is going to be a little bit easier. Second Void Ray now available as well. And obviously that Void Ray can back up right here to the safety of those shield batteries. Hellions, though, have been dropped off in the natural expansion. Shield battery here trying to get some work done as well. You can see that they really have been absolutely critical in this game so far. Without the shield batteries, a lot more damage would be dealt. Either way, it looks to me like INnovation is... as long as he can clean this up, I think he's coming out of this slightly ahead because of those mules, right? So a lot of the Terran economy early on is in those orbital commands and their energy. There you go. You can see a couple of those yellow mining machines once again dropping out of the high heavens. With additional warpins right now, I think that Nice will be able to clean up the Void Ray harass as well. The question is, though, how well is he going to be able to respond right here to this Void Ray shenanigans? There's going to be a Viking here, obviously, and then also now a second Cyclone. Cyclones here are super critical. That lock-on of theirs is phenomenal. He's not actually gone for the lock-on improvement in the factory tech lab. Just a little bit interesting. Starport that was on the bottom left, obviously, is the one that actually is... Man, that's a lot of Marines as well. Oh, okay. Keeps them alive for now, but I mean, the Marines are getting into fire range. Oh, God, that's so close. Yeah, keeps the Void Rays alive for now. I think that this is... Dude, I don't think you can double down on this, Nice. I'm not 100% sure that you can. See, the thing is... Okay, if you would have gotten 2 Void Rays, I think losing 3 Vikings is fine. Either way, the thing is... These Void Rays are not likely to really get a whole lot of follow-up damage done. Okay, so already on the other side of the map, Nice right now is transitioning. I wonder what would have happened here if this Stargate would have been scouted a little bit sooner. I'm not entirely sure if Terran could have really done anything, though, to prevent this from going down when he went for the opening that he went for. Either way, I think these Void Rays are soon going to have to return on home. You can see that Innovation is still roaming the map very nicely. Pun not intended. Ooh, he gets the lock on. The scan right there obviously also reveals exactly what's going on. Man, there's actually some high-level micro going on here. It's very easy for the both of them to actually lose these units. Either way, Innovation, he's like, wait a second. I may not have that many workers left over, but I do have a pretty big army. If your Void Rays are the main line of defense, what exactly are you going to do against my main force? Shield batteries apparently is going to be what the answer is to that. There we go. Battery overcharge being utilized. Void Rays once again instead of the main base. Both players microing multiple battles here at once. A couple of Marines do get picked off because obviously pro gamers are also human. Oh my god, how did that Void Ray live? That Void Ray was so low at health, I could have sworn that Viking already shot. Either way, Medevac right now loaded the Marines into it. One of the Void Rays gets picked off. I think he's going to be able to get rid of those units over there as well. Alright. Very chaotic game, but eventually, I quite like this position here, I think, for the blue Terran player. I mean, even though the eco here is not phenomenal at all, Innovation is known as the machine of StarCraft, right? For very good reason. And I think that's also the reason why Nice decided to go for this build here in game 1 of this best of 3. Innovation is very good at making stuff. Like, that's how he became popular way back in the day. He was very good at making units. Now, I know that's kind of basic, and it doesn't sound very impressive, but it turns out when your units come out in bigger numbers than your opponents, oftentimes you can win just by sheer numbers. Now, obviously, at this stage in the StarCraft 2 meta, it's not like you can differentiate yourself just with really good macro. Turns out in order to win a strategy game, just a real-time component of it is not gonna, you know, score you any wins anymore. But there's no denying that Innovation is very scary when it comes to playing these straight-up games. Third Nexus has been planted down right now by Nice. What exactly is going to be the follow-up right now for Inno? Okay, so he's got triple barracks. Stimpack is not done yet. Combat Shield is coming up right now. Tech Lab here instead. Okay, I was going to say, like, normally you go for both of those upgrades at once. If he goes for Combat Shield, Stimpack, and +1 infantry weapons, which I think is what the next order of business here is going to be. Stimpack is a bit of a longer upgrade, so it'll be a bit before that one's done. But, yeah, there it is. That is obviously like the classic Terran timing attack, right? That is something that can deal a tremendous amount of damage. What exactly is going to be the way of defending it? Nice decides to go straight into the Templar Archives and Psionic Storm. Now, don't get me wrong, Psystorm would be phenomenal against Marines that don't have Stimpack, right? Because you can't really split them very effectively. The problem is... Oh, that's one High Templar gone. They're very vulnerable before the storm is done, right? So losing a High Templar right there is actually huge. Blink is done as well, so Nice is trying his best to delay this army. Yeah, good control here by him. I'm just a little bit concerned for this, because if he won't have energy here and he won't have splash damage, this is going to be very difficult to break. Alternatively, I guess he can warp in a lot of units and wait for the charge upgrade to be done, which I think is what his next order of business is going to be. Banking once again on those shield batteries. Infantry weapons is done. Going straight into plus 1 armor as well. Combat shield is also done. 3rd CC starts up on location. I don't think you want to do this. Hello, nice. Woo. Probably did not expect his opponent sitting out there randomly in the corner of the map. Yeah, so Storm is not done. And these High Templar do not have energy. They need 75 energy to be able to cast a Storm, and that's still like 15 seconds away. Doesn't sound like a long time, but that's definitely enough for the Nexus to go down. He actually decides to morph in the Archons. A little bit worried about this situation. A couple of Zealots are charging forward as well. INnoVation, though, backs up, rather, behind the Siege Tank wall, and he's dealing so much damage. If that one group of Cyclones, right, would not have driven up that ramp and sniped the one High Templar, there would have been like 2 Storms available here, and this battle would have looked entirely different. Well done right there, but you know. Okay, so game number 2, we find ourselves on Oxide. Now, just for those of you that might be a little bit less familiar with INnoVation, right? Let me list off a couple of his accomplishments. So, when people discuss the greatest StarCraft 2 player of all time, INnoVation should be in that list. I think a lot of people will immediately jump to names like, for example, Serral and Maru and Rogue and Dark and a couple of those players, right? INnoVation, though, has been consistently winning tournaments ever since he first started participating in StarCraft 2 at the professional level, which I think was back in like 2011, 2012 or so. So most of the time, right, we have players dominating StarCraft 2 for several years, and then they like, you know, lose their edge and they kind of fall down a little. Maybe you can make that argument for INnoVation over like the last year or two. But, I mean, that could definitely also be due to practice. I mean, he still had some good showings, though. So, overall, right, in 2013, he won the WCS Season 1. In 2014, he won the GSL Code S. He won Gamescom as well in 2015. 2015, he also won the GSL Code S once more. IAM Season 11, Zhangji, I don't even know how to pronounce that, but he won that 4-0 over Stats in the Grand Finals in 2016. He won an SSL in 2017, GSL vs. the World in 2017, another GSL Code S actually in 2017. The WESG for $150,000 over Serral in the Grand Finals in 2019. The Gold Professional Championships in 2019. Basically what I'm trying to say, and this is just tournament victories, right? This man has made it to tons of Grand Finals in Premier, Major, but also in minor tournaments. And, you know, he really is one of the most well-known StarCraft 2 professionals out there. It's sad, man. So apparently what someone on Reddit is claiming, I don't know if this is true, but apparently what INnoVation does is play a lot of League of Legends. I'm not entirely sure if that's true. I know a lot of the StarCraft pros in general. Many of them are gamers, right? Believe it or not. This is crazy, I know. But apparently he plays a lot of League. That would be very sad, actually. Like, imagine one day, maybe this is me being a little bit StarCraft elitist, and I fully accept that. But, like, imagine INnoVation wraps up his military service and he returns to esports as a League of Legends pro. That would hurt my feelings. Like, I'm not even... I have nothing against League, but, you know, StarCraft is a much better game. That would be quite the career change. It is interesting, though. Most of the time, right? StarCraft pros, when they have to go to the military, so I believe in StarCraft, or in South Korea, rather, you can delay your military service until you're like 27, 28 years old or something along those lines. For a lot of these guys... their, like, personality is being a pro gamer, right? Like, that's what they've been doing for, like, the last decade leading up to that military service. And I can imagine, even though you may think, right? Maybe this is wishful thinking on my end, but... is he just gonna drive by everything? Oh my god, he's actually gonna get some damage done. Anyways, if your entire personality is based around, I'm a pro gamer, I win, like, $1 million in tournaments over the course of my career. He's got, like, 800K, I think. It may be easy to say right now, right? Maybe you're not enjoying the game as much as you once did. Maybe you're playing a little bit too much League of Legends. Maybe you're only practicing 10 games a week. Although, I don't know if any of those things are true. It may be easy to say right now, yes, I am not going to be returning. But I can imagine that once you, you know, finish it, you're like, oof, those were the good old days. Right? Like, I find myself thinking the same thing right now every once in a while when I think back of, like, say, for example, high school or university or something along those lines. When I was there, I didn't particularly enjoy myself all of the time, but when I look back at those places and at those times, I usually only remember the good things, right? And I think this is very relatable and probably a feature of the human, you know, mind and memory. But we tend to only remember the good stuff. So what I'm trying to get at is that I wouldn't be surprised at all if one day... By the way, there's a Dark Templar here. INnoVation finishes up his military service. He's like, you know what? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, it's gonna be a DT opener right here from Nice. Truth be told, I don't think that's nice at all. Yeah. There's missile turrets and plenty of detection here available. Now even some movable detection as well. INnoVation playing a very safe game here. Getting quite a lot of damage done as well, all things considered. 8 workers there in total. It's actually not done yet. Widowmine drops comes in. Okay, good response right there by Nice. Or nice response there by good. No. Okay, sorry. This is not looking so good, though, for Nice. Some of these players' names, right? Like, they're just... It's so easy to pun accidentally, just, like, by talking. It's not gonna happen, dude. Whoa, 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 whoa! What was that? Not a moment to siege up your warp prism, I can tell you that much. You probably wanted to warp in a couple more units, but... Yeah, maybe go for some Archon Harass here instead. I like Archon Harass a lot, especially against Zerg, but I'm not so sure against Terran, right? If there's gonna be one Viking out, which I wouldn't be surprised at all if he produces one here in a little bit once the starport finishes, you know, a lot of... Once again, a couple of Widowmines apparently got in here. It's probably not gonna get that much work done. Siege tanks obviously are also pretty good at shelling away here from a distance. What if you interference matrix the prism? Okay, so 4 SCVs end up going down. INnoVation has decided to add on once again those additional barracks. So he's going to be able to go for the combat shield, the stim pack, and the +1 infantry weapons. The classical one. Super nice to have. Ooh, he's chasing it. He really wants to get the kills. So Archons are like 99% shields. So once they're down to 0 shields, which is what both of these bad boys were pretty much at, you can accidentally lose them really, really easily. And if you accidentally lose them, then all of a sudden there's going to be Terran units on your side of the map very quickly. You can kind of see that this Warp Prism over here is keeping this Terran player at home as well, right? It's not like INnoVation can just go out into the map and get adventurous. Widowmine drop once again, trying to get some work done, but good control here so far by Nice. 5 additional gateways are coming up right here as well for the Taiwanese Protoss player, so he's going to try his very best to continue the harassment and then just keep dealing the damage. Double medevac drop heading on over towards the corner of the main base. Once again, Storm coming up very quickly here. And once again, I feel like this is just INnoVation hitting killer timings. He's finishing up Stimpack in 10 seconds. There's no splash damage available here yet. This is once again a push that can do a lot of work. Okay, Archons are going to be recalled. They killed a bunch of stuff as well. Oh my god, he actually gets the prism with the Widowmine! He gets the prism with the 1 Widowmine, so immediately the auto turrets come up as well. GG is just called straight away. And INnoVation wins this best of 3 series. I hope you enjoyed watching today's video. If you did, hit that like button down below. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. But for now, thanks for watching. Have an awesome day. Don't forget to smile. And I'll see you once again in the next one.